Can you ever walk into a room without changing it? This question, albeit philosophical, is also a question being addressed at an art exhibit, blending several different mediums in the Union Gallery at the Student Union Memorial Center.
I'm always trying to view my work through an audience point of view, and just the physicality of an audience sitting in a chair in the theater versus standing up in an art gallery looking at a painting. Just changing the audience's posture, it makes the audience participate in a way that they don't in the traditional theater.
Facing Front takes dance off the stage and video off the screen and transports them, however momentarily, to the art gallery.
I actually sat in on one of his classes, one of his modern dance classes, because I at that time was interested in doing some drawings based off of the motion of dance, and I was interested in especially his classes because of how unorthodox his dances are. So I had gone, asked him if I could sit in on a class, and he's like, yeah, that's fine. So we did that. I attended a few of his classes as, just an onlooker, and we started talking, and kind of things just went from there.
I was so impressed that he didn't look at the paper, he looked at the dance and allowed that to translate through his body onto the paper in a blurry line rather than a figurative line. He never asked us to stand still. Everything about his approach I respected and I delighted in, really. And the fact that he was still interested after he did these sketches in evolving them into paintings. And we've been keeping a dialogue back and forth for the last year. And then suddenly we just decided to converge and do this show.
It was about the layers. It was about, we have the video of the dance, of the pictures made from the dance, but not really the dance. They were made from other pictures of the dance. We took it, with a grain of salt. It was all about, we had this layer, this layer, this layer, this layer. Was like, that's great. That's really what we want people to have trouble wrapping their head around it. We want them to be thinking about all of the different layers and the way that they interact with each other. So.
Doug said, hey, I need the regular camera guy on the floor. He's a dancer, the guy who usually runs the backpack. He said, I need him on the floor, for the piece. Are you interested in doing the backpack? And I said, yeah, why not? It's kind of cool. I've done countless hours of staring at all this stuff on the TVs for the editing process anyway. I was pretty familiar with, like I say, the minimalist look of what we're going for. It's that perspective that the audience hasn't seen before. I think that's what we're going for here. And I jumped right to it.
We just felt that this was going to be a non-judgmental installation where there's no good and bad, it's just what happens, and not even call it a performance, call it an installation. And as the audience walks around, I hope that they'll focus on something and not worry that they've missed something. That, it's just like life, the streets of New York. Whatever you see means you don't see a lot of other things, but that's okay.